Welcome to the Fantasy Cycling Podcast, featuring your hosts, Grant Gardner and John Anderson. Chapeau, you're in the mix.
You're in the mix and listening to the Fantasy Cycling Podcast. I'm John. This is Grant. Grant, say hello.
Hello, how are we doing?
Well.
So we were mixing it up, doing an early week recording. So
I think we're going to shift.
Hopefully folks can actually listen to the podcast before the race starts.
Yeah, a new cadence. Tuesday recording. Talk about sensory overload the last, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. I mean, Sunday you sent a little screenshot.
I was like, yeah, the emoji of like the little shaky face.
Overwhelmed. There was 5 or 6 different things going on.
We had UAE wrap up, and we're able to also enjoy Algarve and Andalusia. Tell us who won in UAE, Grant.
Not surprisingly, UAE. Isaac Del Toro on his redemptive streak after giving away the Giro last year. And he looked really good.
Who else looked good? Tiberi looked good.
Antonio Tiberi.
The cat killer himself. Yoni Milan.
Yeah, Milan.
Looked really dumb not taking him on my fantasy team. Getting cute. The advice I gave last week was terrible for this. Well, I wasn't giving advice for the UAE. I was giving advice for Algarve and Andalusia, and I think my advice might carry for those races.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got cute and did not take Milan for UAE and regret it. So you racked up a bunch
of... Both Milans. Mathieu, his brother, was also on the best team.
Really?
Yeah.
Sir, that's a fun little fact.
Yeah, and then...
It's like a bring your little brother to work day kind of thing.
Exactly. And somebody from Modern Adventure Pro Cycling, a new
great
series team.
Great kids. Case Bowl,
yeah.
Value. Ethan Dernan did well. Remco Evenepoel.
I think he's just
disappointing. He paced a climb on stage 3 really poorly. Was it stage 3? One of those.
Where he just cracked. Yeah.
He paced it poorly, and then there was a stage right after the time trial.
Hey, but his AC was out in his hotel. So
yeah, he also, I think, said we talked about this. He was pushing that huge gear.
Yeah.
Some muscular effects. Luke Plapp, patting myself on the back there. He's always good in UAE.
Yep.
So yeah, a pretty decent race to watch from like a entertainment value perspective. You checking to see if you beat me or not? Did you?
I mean, I did, but
it's a pretty fun one to watch. I enjoyed it. I think
you hate seeing the credits go to waste on Evenepoel, though. You spend 1,200 credits and he only scores 91 points. But
yeah, it's not good. Not a good economy right there. I was reminded of Lennart van Etvelt. Kind of forgot about him.
He always does well in these kind of preseason races.
Yeah, forgot about him. So I need to keep him on my radar. Andalusia and Algarve were good. What did you prefer out of the two? I think we talked about this. The Algarve start list was really cool.
I was surprised to see Laporte do so well at Andalusia. I mean, he had his heyday a few years ago of dominating races, especially the classics, and then had kind of an off year last couple of years. So maybe keep an eye on him for this weekend. And then...
When was the last time a Spaniard won that race?
That is a question that I do not have an answer to, but it's an interesting question to pose.
You could tell it meant a lot to the Ivan Romeo, the young 22-year-old from Movistar who claimed the GC victory. He was only 600 credits. I felt like I at one point knew the answer to that question, and I completely forgot it prior to the podcast.
Well, no one since 2020.
I think it's been a while.
So,
but yeah, Andalusia was kind of overshadowed by Algarve for me. I found myself tuning in much more frequently. There was a really great stage. I think it was stage 2, where we had a knife fight on the hillside. The great climb, kind of undulating grades.
Yeah.
That saw Paul Seixas just freaking, is that how you say his name?
I think it's Seixas.
Seixas?
But we've never been one.
Seixas.
We've never been one to participate in proper pronunciation.
Yeah. There was a selection. You had Paul, Ayuso, Yao Almeida, kind of away, and then from the abyss, I think they got caught up behind. There was a crash. McNulty was one of the guys that went down on a corner. The climb was kind of dynamic. There was lots of turns, cornering. Had some flat sections to kind of give it some character, winding its way up the hillside, which made for a pretty entertaining last 15 kilometers. Did you love it? I loved it.
Yeah, I mean the top 7 here sounds like the finish of like a Giro d'Italia stage. You've got Ayuso, Seixas, Almeida, Onley, Riccitello, Danny Martinez, and Kevin Valcalon.
Yeah,
I mean hitters.
Yeah, it was really exciting. There was some parity, Grant, which we're not used to when Pog's in the race.
I mean, you're not saying that cycling's more exciting without Pogacar.
I appreciate greatness, and I like to see the Michael Jordan of this sport do his thing, and I'll never complain about seeing Pog just dominate. I still get a kick out of it, but I also get a kick. Look, there's tons of races to watch. We had three races to watch, good ones over the last 5 days. And Pog's not in any of them. Enjoy. If you don't like watching Pog dominate and go solo for 60Ks, tune into these races. These are the future. This Paul kid is the future.
Both Pauls. Paul Manier too.
Paul Manier is the future. Decathlon is my favorite team. With Paul, the Frenchman, and Riccitello, I've decided this is going to be my favorite team of the season.
Yeah. And how
they work together. Riccitello came back from getting caught behind that crash.
Yeah.
Put in a turn to kind of keep the pace high, settle down some attacks, gave everything he had left to Paul. And I think if Riccitello hadn't have been caught up a little bit, I mean, he can climb every bit as well as Paul can.
Yeah.
But Ayuso is a fast finisher. It was like a crit turn at the end. He was going to get the corner. Who's going to take the corner? And it was right on the hairline. It was the best bit of racing I've watched all year so far.
Yeah. He might have a little more racecraft in him.
Yeah.
Being a few more seasons ahead of Paul Seixas. But how exciting is it that Oscar Onley is making good on his new contract with Ineos?
Yeah. That's exciting. It's fun.
I feel like Ineos probably has more UCI points at this point in the year than they did through June last year. So that's cool.
Let me see. Yeah, so Onley's 23, Riccitello's 23, and Paul's 19. Ayuso is also 23. The sad thing might be is an Almeida being 27 and still being on UAE.
Yeah.
He might be kind of caught between two. It's like Bitcoin, with the great.
It's a short squeeze.
What is this? What do they say about Bitcoin? Where it's every 7 years, it's there's a the halving.
A halving, yeah. The halving is happening at UAE.
There's like a generational halving that I think is. We talked about this last year on the podcast. I think
Is Almeida
the next 2 or 3. Oh, he might be.
Was he the next
He
Roglic?
might be caught in between. He might just be a little bit too old, and then you might have this next generation coming up. These 19-year-olds and these 23, 22, 21-year-olds.
I mean, you were calling.
I'm not saying he's washed, but like it just might be unfortunate timing for him.
Yeah. You were calling the inflection point last year.
Well, I'm foreseeing an inflection point.
Yeah.
In the next.
You said that
Pog wasn't going to win a Grand Tour.
No, you said You said Pogacar was going to retire at the end of 2026.
I mean, that's all just that was a
banter,
but I do think it's going to be interesting to see how long he holds on. I mean, you've already seen like the Galacticos or whatever they were called. You know, Van der Poel, Wout, Jonas, Pog, Remco. I guess you'd put Roglic in there too. But who really is left, you know? Pog, Jonas, Van der Poel. Remco's there still, but anyway, I digress. Any fantasy lessons on Algarve or Andalusia for you?
Don't leave Paul Meunier off your team.
Yeah.
I think he's a pretty safe pick in most races, unless it's just blowing your credit budget.
And what's your feeling about that team, Grant? You think Quick-Step? What's the vibe? What's the vibe on Quick-Step? I think you've got a take on this.
I think this weekend will be very telling with the beginning, which I think hopefully folks know this, but it's opening weekend for the classics. So we've got Omloop Nieuwsblad and Kuurne-Brussels-Kuurne in Belgium, and then over in France, Faun-Ardèche and Faun Drome.
Yeah.
So Quick-Step has reoriented their team around more of a classics and sprinter focus after Remco departed for Red Bull. And Paul Meunier seems like one of the guys that's going to capitalize on that. And then they've got a couple Belgian veterans that we'll talk about later that should help that team out.
Yeah. So you think a little bit of a return to form might be upon us? Yeah,
not like Tom Bonin level form, but something more interesting than they've shown us the last couple classic seasons.
Well, let's get into our picks for those races. But before we do we want to do a little app chat?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So for the folks following along on the Cycling Fantasy app, you can get it on iPhone or Android. And they've made a lot of updates. Kind of quietly came through on just updates in the App Store. And one of them is the pricing for the credits for the riders is not going to update on the 1st and the 15th of each month.
So that's a little bit more like a Velo game.
Yeah, Velo Games updates it for every race.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be 1st and 15th of each month, which used to just to be just around the Grand Tours.
It's the first of the month.
It was just around the Grand Tours.
Yeah.
And we kind of complained like,
oh, do you think this could be complained?
No, they did not listen to us. But
Grant just looked at me like, are you serious?
There would be guys that were way overpriced based off their current form, or you kind of felt like you're getting a steal where somebody's still 200 credits and they had a great first half of the season.
Yeah.
So it definitely felt misaligned in terms of the actual value of the rider versus what their credits were.
Yep.
So that'll be, I think, more competitive. It might be more annoying sometimes because people are going to cost more and you won't be able to add them to your team, but I think it'll be good for the game. Also, they're not going to tell you what percent picked before each race now.
What am I going to talk about?
Yeah, that's like your whole talking point. It's like, oh, he's been picked by only 17% of users.
But you can still see that after the race.
After the race, yeah. After it starts. You'll be a little more blind going in terms of what everybody else is thinking, which I think is good. And they've added a few other features within each race. Like if you click on the chat icon, you can actually talk with other users. So hopefully we'll see some of y'all in there. We can talk about these races and who you've picked. And then also if you go to, when you select your team and you do the little like line graph thing in the top right corner, the little data icon, it tells you previous history of the race and kind of a nice summation instead of having to scroll through all the previous years on your own.
Yeah, I like that, so, especially.
That's a cool feature. And then apparently they're going to do different voting within the app of like, what changes do you want?
Ooh, I like that too.
Lots of improvements. And then of course, Bell Games is still there, tried and true in your web browser.
All reliable.
Which we're going to try and engage with that more too this season. So
it's like a newspaper.
Just comfortable, familiar.
Oh, dude. Well, without further ado, do you want to talk about who we like for?
Yeah, we kind of crammed for the test on this one.
There's a lot of is this good? Is this person good?
Yeah, so we'll start out with Omloop Nieuwsblad, which is for most people the true start of the season.
We've made it.
Yeah. That one is going to be a hilly cobbled classic. It's going to feature some iconic climbs, including the Kappelmuur. And that when you see the peloton around the corner headed up towards the chapel, that's like, this is bike racing. We're back. Yeah. So, but the interesting thing about this one is there's no Van der Poel or some of the other guys that are going to be at the Tour of Flanders later in the season. So it's kind of an open race. You don't know who's in form, who's not. And so it should be pretty exciting. A lot more unknowns than what we'll see later in the more mature end of the season.
Yeah. Wout's back though from his ankle
injury, riding cyclocross. We do not know the status of that, or he hasn't raced since. So TBD on how he's doing.
Who else? I mean, you got probably the name brands are obviously your Wout. 2 months after an ankle fracture that you just mentioned,
and then his teammate Mathieu Brennan and Christophe Laporte.
Ooh, is Mathieu Brennan a name brand at this point? Are you putting him in the name a marquee?
I think for the ball knowers out there, he's a must pick
if you know ball.
Yeah,
Paul Manier, Tom Pidcock, Jasper Philipsen, Arnaud Delis, Jordi Meus, Soren Warrenskold, who won last year, Biniam Girmay, Caden Groves, Tim Wellens, Florian Vermeersch, but no Van der Poel. So yeah, I've got a team picked. I've got Warrenskold, previous winner. Jasper Philipsen, my most expensive pick. Bastien Tranchant, who's never raced this before, but I think his profile works well for this race. Vincenzo Albanese, Italian. He got 8th last year. Your eyes just got real big. That might be an outlier, but I don't know. I could change that later. Ben Turner, he's not really shown anything yet in this race, but I've just got a feeling. For Big Ben. And then another Brit, I've got Sam Watson, who got 5th in 2025. And Paul Manier, I think, is a very safe pick, 2nd last year. And Mathieu Brennan, because he's the truth, got 69th last year.
Nice.
And Oliver Nyssen. Now, I took Oliver Nyssen because he's only 200 credits. He's a wily vet at this point.
Yeah, how many times has he done this race?
35 years old, and he's done this race eight times, and has always finished in the top 30.
Ooh, stat attack.
Yeah. Who you got?
Pretty similar at the top there. Matthew Brennan, Paul Menier. Those are must picks in my book now, and pretty much every race they do. I've also got Big Ben Turner.
You got Big Ben as well.
Yeah, and he's a similar profile to Soren Werenskald.
Yeah.
And with Werenskald winning it last year.
Could magic strike for Big Ben? Could he find himself on the podium?
I think it could. Also, if you look at his performance so far this season at Valenciana, he was 8th on GC, top 10 on every stage. Pretty impressive. Then Christophe Laporte, he has finished 5th, 3rd, and 13th his last 3 appearances here, and is also in good form. Arnaud Delis has had a couple top 10s. Mike Tunison, he's a little more of an outsider, but for 400 credits, he's a veteran Dutch rider that's done well in this race before. And then I'm also looking at Brent Van Moor as a little bit more of an outsider too, now riding for Q3 6.5. And then Lucas Kubis, who had an amazing beginning to the classics last season. We'll see if he can do it again. I'm actually leaving 200 credits on the table.
Can I get him?
Wish you could transfer them. No.
Faun-Ardèche. I've got Romain Gregoire. 800 credits. He won last year. So previous year winner, but he's pretty consistently good in this race. He got 2nd in 2024, 5th in 2023. I think that's a good pick. It's good to have a Frenchman in this race. Ben Healy is really good, but he hasn't only 100. He didn't do well in this last year, but he's good.
Yeah, and had an incredible season last season.
Yeah.
So
Matthew Riccatello and Paul Sejas, just because they're my favorite team now, and they're my favorite riders this season already. They might be a little bit too, not really like classic build, but hitters.
Yeah, I think they'll do okay here.
I think they'll work together. Quinn Simmons, he's done this race a bunch. He hasn't really had too much to show for it, and guy's been training like a monster. So I just got a feeling this is his first race of the season, I think. I'm excited to see what his form looks like. I'm sure he's going to come with a lot of energy and excitement. Frenchman Louis Barre, he got a top 15 last year, and he's done the race a bunch as well. And then Ben Tullett, his teammate on Visma, he raced this race in 2021 and got 14th. Took 3 years off, came back and did it in 2025 and got 14th again.
There you go.
Stat attack.
Consistent. I like it.
Yeah, it's like McDonald's. It's the same every time. Skelmos for 1,000 credits also has finished in the top 10 every time he's done this race. And guy who's been off to a usually does well in this is Christian Scaroni. I've got him as well. He's 600 credits. He got 5th last year. So we're leaning heavily on past some guys that have had strong past performances in the race, and then taking some shots on some newcomers, and just to see how they do.
Nice. Well, very similar team. So I'm not going to bore the listeners by saying all the same names, but I will mention who I have that's different. Lenny Martinez. I don't think you had him, did you?
I didn't.
He was
French, right? French guy?
French guy, 17th in 2023. He was 5th in the Tour de Alpes-Maritimes a few days ago, and we know he's a great climber. So he's riding for Bahrain Victorious now. I'm also going to pick Jarno Widar, a Belgian rider. He's only 20 years old. He's had a pretty good start to the season. Did well at Algarve. And then Thomas Gloag. He's on Q3 6.5 now. Used to be on Visma. And he had a couple of top 10 finishes at Algarve as well against some stiff competition.
Mm-hmm.
So that's who I've got that's different. But yeah, I think it'll be an exciting race that Romain Grosjean will probably win again.
Really?
Yeah.
Grant, you have an opinion about picking Faun Drome the next day.
Yeah. Mainly because we were unorganized and didn't pick a team for it yet. But my suggestion would be to wait and see what happens at Faun-Ardèche first and then pick your Faun Drome team.
Okay. I'm going to follow your advice.
So I think even if we did try and pick a Faun Drome team, it would be pretty similar to what we said for Faun-Ardèche. So,
yep. But obviously you might see someone crash or DNF or,
yeah.
I mean, if you see a DNF and it's not a crash, it could be, sometimes you might want to
save their matches.
They might be saving their matches. Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, it's really just kind of sit on that one and wait for our dash to happen. But
the big cap to the weekend, Kuurne-Brussels-Kuurne.
It's a great weekend, man.
Yep. This one is
more sprinty.
Yes.
You're going to see on the start list more of the name brand sprinters.
Yep. And that has been reflected in the last couple winners. Jasper Philipsen won last year, Wout van Aert the year before. Other riders like Fabio Jakobsen have won this race before. So if it ends in a bunch sprint,
it's a very flat finish. I mean, there's some lumpy bits in the middle, but it's a sprint finish.
Really, kind of the only outlier from those sprinters recently was Tish Benoot in 2023. But yeah, should end in a sprint, all else being equal. So what are you thinking, John?
I'm taking both Milan and Philipsen. And I'm definitely taking Brennan again because he's faster than both of them. No, he's not faster than Milan. He might be faster than Philipsen in some situations. Paul Meunier. And then I've got Thread Wright, also a fast finisher. Has some good racecraft. He got 18th last year. So he scored in the points. Ravishing Rick Plumiers.
One of your favorites.
Yeah. Kes Bol is a value pick on this race. Only 200 credits. Why not? I can tell you why not, because he's not historically done very good in the race, but I mean, it's 200 credits. Arne Merritt, and Axel Zongel.
So I did not have on my bingo card for 2026 us both picking Kes Bol in an opening weekend race.
You got him too?
But here we are. Mainly my problem was, I just got trigger happy and I'm picking all these high credit riders. Then it's like, you don't have any credits remaining. And I had to backspace and find some 200 credit riders. So he found his way in.
So you spend heavy on this race, and you had money left over in the budget on the last one, huh?
Mm-hmm. So I've also got Jasper Philipsen, Paul Meunier, Matthew Brennan for previously mentioned reasons. I'm going to go with Pavel Bittner. He is 800 credits this year, but he was 8th last year. He's already shown up in some sprints so far this season. And I think he just had a really good season last year. So going for him. Kespel, Jordi Mayos at 600 credits. Last 3 times he's finished 11th, 12th, and 8th. Christophe Laporte, Arne Merritt. He's only 200 credits, 4th last year. And then Lucas Kubis.
You love taking Lucas Kubis.
So he had a incredible start to the classic season last year, finished 9th in this race. And he's still on that beloved Unibet Rose Rockets team. So
yeah.
I guess the big headline there is no Jonathan Milan.
Yeah, you're not taking Johnny.
Yeah.
You think he's going to be tired after UAE?
So I'm thinking the cobblestones are not going to be friendly to that hip that he fell on at UAE in the opening sprint stage. So
hip didn't seem to slow him down there the rest of the race. But yeah, I mean,
yeah, but they were on smooth, brand
all
new
those
tarmac. Yeah.
all those roads every year at UAE are like brand new paved every year.
Yeah. So I think he'll probably be fine, but
some guy who lives in UAE is like, it wasn't a road here until like a week ago.
Yeah.
I don't think ever a car has ever driven up that climb they did on that one stage.
Yeah, there was like no tire marks or anything. Yeah. I guess Jonathan Milan, I think you could flip a coin of how he'd do. I mean, he's obviously one of the best sprinters in the world right now, but it does concern me when somebody has a hard fall and then tries to do a hard classics race, a week later. So,
okay. Yeah.
Is there a lot I also just want to be contrarian. So.
Yeah. Is there a lot of cobble sections on KBK?
I don't know the exact amount.
But there are.
But it's not smooth.
Yeah. Well, I think we have it. Get your picks in, boys and girls. The season is upon us.
Yeah. We were looking ahead and Strada Bianchi's
now we're here,
staring at us a week away.
Dog.
So
let's go. Can't wait.
Time to lock in.
Can't wait to watch that. Lock in, everybody. You can follow us on socials on X and Instagram under the handle Listen to FCP. Listen, the number 2 FCP. And we're here every week recording on Tuesdays. We're locking in, as the kids say. Did not have a Bitcoin reference on my bingo card, nor using the term lock in either on my bingo card.
Here we are.
All right. See you next week.
See ya.